Welcome to listening to stories on Kevin TV audiobook channel. Chapter 23515. Creator of the Soul Cultivation Technique. You make it sound like the three pillars of heaven are scheming something? Sun Rusi said calmly after hearing Tian Yang's question. Am I wrong? You're free to correct me if that's the case, Tian Yang replied. There's no way the three pillars of heaven, who spent most of their existence in secrecy, isolated within their own bubble, would suddenly involve themselves in nearly everything for no reason. Even if they are scheming something? What makes you think I'd be privy to such information? Sun Rusi questioned with a narrowed gaze. Do you even know my position within the background? I don't, but I doubt you're a nobody. Oh? What gave you that impression? Tian Yang answered with a calm smile. Would a nobody be able to travel to the giant continent while another group is there on important business, let alone bring a friend along? You're also talented enough to complete others' unfinished techniques. I wouldn't be surprised if you held an important position within your family. Sun Rushi chuckled. You never struck me as the keen type. You're more like a reckless bull that charges headfirst into anything without thinking first. Anyway, to answer your earlier question, the three pillars of heaven are definitely planning something, but I do not know what that thing is. While my position within the family isn't ordinary, it's nothing too special either. Most importantly, I spend most of my time in seclusion, only coming out to meet with you occasionally, so I don't have the time to care about such trivial matters. As a matter of fact, I have no interest in whatever they are doing. Trying to become the first to enter the next realm? How close are you? Tian Yang then asked. Well, I have enough celestial qi, so I only need to cultivate my soul now. Unfortunately, I am not experienced enough to give you an estimate of when I'll reach my goal. How about you? I'm in the same boat. It took me so long just to cultivate my celestial qi, I cannot fathom how much longer cultivating my soul would take. Another 50,000 years, 100,000? Only time will tell. Tian Yang sighed. Speaking of soul cultivation, what soul cultivation technique are you using? You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. My soul cultivation technique is named Heaven's Indomitable Soul. Eh? Sun Rushi's eyes widened upon hearing this name, mouth even agape. Tian Yang smiled and said, That's right, it's the one your family sold some time ago, so you were the one who purchased it. Sun Rushi muttered in a daze. Is this fate? Well, it was Ren Xia who bought it. Sun Rusi suddenly fell silent, her gaze fixed on Tian Yang as though weighing a decision in her mind. What's wrong? He asked. Since it's you, I'll let you in on a little secret. Tian Yang raised an eyebrow. It's about the creator of that technique, she continued. Oh. Tian Yang's eyes flickered with intrigue as he leaned in slightly, his attention fully captured. The creator of that technique is me, she revealed with a wide smile. What? Tian Yang leaned back in shock, his eyes and mouth agape. He quickly snapped out of it and said, There's no way. You're messing with me. Without explaining, Sun Rushi started to recite the entire technique from the beginning to the end without missing a word. That doesn't prove anything. You could have just memorized it after reading it. It belonged to your family after all. Sun Rushi sighed. I don't know how else to convince you. To think you wouldn't believe me, even though I risked so much to reveal this secret that only a few in the family know. After a moment of silence, Tian Yang spoke. Are you being serious? What would I even gain from lying to you? She sneered. No way. Tian Yang could tell that she was being genuine just from her voice alone, leaving him speechless. You actually created this technique? You're even more amazing than I thought. Tian Yang swallowed nervously. I did spend pretty much my entire life dedicated to it after all, and how long is that? I started working on it shortly after I joined the Immortal Monastery, only finishing it 1,000 years before it was sold. Why'd you decide to sell it? Tian Yang continued to ask. Sun Rusi sighed softly. It wasn't my decision. I wanted to share the technique openly, just to see if anyone besides me could cultivate it. but the family ignored my wishes and sold it for profit. They said the technique would naturally spread over time anyway, once no one proved capable of cultivating it, so they might as well profit from it. However, that never happened, and the new owner disappeared like a ghost after buying it. She looked at him and smiled. I never thought it would land in your hand, much less you successfully cultivating it. So, what do you think of my technique? Although it's not the only technique I've created, it's my proudest work. She spoke with an air of pride swirling around her, not even bothering to hide it. Tian Yang chuckled and said, "It's obviously amazing. Even the best soul cultivation techniques that have come out recently cannot compare to it. However, Sun Rusi raised an eyebrow. I think it can be improved," he continued with a smile. Although Tian Yang had long referred to it as incomplete, he realized that wasn't accurate. The technique was, in fact, complete, as it could be cultivated properly. Rather than being unfinished, it simply had room for improvement, and that was what he told her. Huh! Sun Rushi's jaw dropped after hearing his words. Seeing her reaction, Tian Yang quickly realized his mistake. Telling the creator of the technique that it could be improved had been undeniably rude. "Sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. I don't care about that," she quickly interrupted. "Tell me more," she continued with a solemn expression. Instead of taking offense, she seemed genuinely intrigued, a spark of excitement flickering in her eyes. Chapter 2316, Improving the Soul Cultivation Technique. Even if you tell me to explain, my understanding of the technique is nowhere near enough to explain it in detail," he said in a somewhat awkward tone. Sun Rushi frowned at his response and immediately responded, "Then how do you know the technique could be improved? You got my hopes up for nothing. As I said, I don't have enough experience to explain myself. I'll do it once I reach a deeper understanding of the technique. Fine, I'll wait. But if it turns out that you were lying to me, I'll be very upset and angry at you." Tian Yang nodded. All right. The two of them chatted for a little longer before they parted and returned to their own dwelling. Upon returning home, Tian Yang immediately entered seclusion to cultivate the soul cultivation technique. Time continued to pass. 5,000 years, 10,000 years, 20,000 years. How is your progress with the soul cultivation technique? Sun Rushi asked Tian Yang on their 6th meeting since she revealed herself to be the creator of the Heaven's Indomitable Soul technique. Tian Yang smiled and said, "Not much compared to last time, but I have reached a level of understanding where I can explain to you about why I think the technique can be improved. I'm listening." Tian Yang proceeded to explain his discovery and shared his thoughts on how he believes it can be improved. Sun Rusi didn't respond for a long time after Tian Yang was finished. Eventually, she looked at him with a cold smile and said, "If you dare call yourself talentless after today, I'll feed you to the pigs." Tian Yang could only offer a silent smile in response. Rigmon lump. "Hey, where are you staying right now?" Sun Rusi suddenly asked, "Are you still staying in your personal world?" I am. Why are you asking?" "Make some space for two people." "I'm going to stay with you for a while," she said. "What?" Tian Yang exclaimed. "Why so suddenly?" "What do you think? I want to improve the soul cultivation technique. Can't you just do it with the information I've provided you?" "I can, but it won't turn out the way you envisioned, and there is still room for your comprehension to grow. It'd be a hassle to meet like this every time I want to speak to you, so I'll just stay with you until the cultivation technique is refined." "Don't worry, I won't intrude on your time with your wife." Tian Yang shook his head and said, "That's not what I'm worried about. And room for two? Who else is coming with you?" "Who else but Ruye?" "Ah, senior sister Jing, you really stick close to each other, huh?" "She's the only close friend I have, and it wouldn't be wise to leave her alone with my family for too long. They don't really like her because of her original background, and she's currently there as my servant. In any case, I don't mind, but I need to speak with Ren Xie first. We share the world, after all." "All right, let's meet again in 10 years, then." After they parted, Tian Yang returned home to let Ren Xie know the situation. Meanwhile, Sun Rusi prepared for her departure from the family. I was wondering when this day would come since you started meeting with her again. Ren Xie sighed after hearing the situation. Tian Yang raised an eyebrow and asked, "Why would you be expecting this situation? You really don't know." Tian Yang remained silent. "In any case, you don't need my approval for such trivial matters. It's not like we're the only two occupying this world anyway." 10 years later, Tian Yang met up with Sun Roshi, who brought along Jing Ruye this time. "What did your wife say?" Sun Roshi asked. "Does it even matter? You look like you're already prepared to move in." Sun Roshi sighed. "Do you have any idea how much effort it takes to sneak out every time I meet you? Because of that time, I ran away from home to work as a sect elder in the Immortal Monastery. My family has been keeping a close eye on me since then." Tian Yang raised an eyebrow at her words and asked, "What about this time?" "I snuck out, of course. There's no way they'd let me leave for an extended period of time alone. Hell, I'll definitely be grounded once I return home." "Grounded?" "It's not like you're a child." Tian Yang shook his head. "No, since you created such a powerful soul cultivation technique, they have a good reason for wanting to keep you safe. Enough talking. Let's go to your world before they realize I am gone. It was less bothersome before because they barely left the Holy Continent. However, they're everywhere these days." Thus, Tian Yang brought Sun Rushi and Jing Ruye to his personal world. "Wow, so this is your personal world?" Sun Rushi and Jing Ruye were left in awe after seeing it for the first time. "This place is so vast, much larger than even the ones at my family," Sun Rushi said. "It was much smaller before, but we had to make some adjustments after a certain incident." Although Tian Yang trusted Sun Rushi, he kept the situation with Kulas a secret from her to avoid unnecessary risk. "Isn't it expensive to maintain such a large world?" Jing Ruye asked. "Yes, it requires 500,000 spirit stones a month to maintain it." "That much? Where are you even getting that much money from?" she asked. "Monster cores are very profitable these days, especially immortal level cores. A single one can easily sell for tens of millions of spirit stones. Where do you even find the time to hunt for monster cores? Don't you spend more of your time in seclusion?" Sun Rushi asked. "Yes, that's why we're getting help from others. We're not the only ones living here." Who else lives here?" "That I'll tell you in the future," Tian Yang said. "Well, I don't really care, so you don't need to tell me if you don't want to," said Sun Rushi in a calm voice. "Anyways, let's get started with the soul cultivation technique." "All right."